What is up, y'all? We are back for part two of the Baddies MidWest reunion. Yeah, this was, it just proves everything that I always say. Wait for the episode, the reunion to drop, because the fans that be there, y'all literally skew y'all's brain to fit a narrative that you want to happen, knowing that the show is going to come out and we're going to see it. Almost everything that the fans have said online was debunked. Like, had it sounding like the trio was in there tearing everybody up, when that wasn't the case. Had it seeming like Tesehki might have possibly lost the. Come on, y'all really can't fight. That's just really what it is. But we'll get to it. But the OGs really did not get torn like they wanted them to appear to have gotten torn. The only two that didn't really impress me was Jela and Scotty, but they didn't get torn up like. We'll get to it next week. But if you're new here, please thumbs up the video, drop a comment down below, subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe if you are new. Yeah, drop a comment, keep it respectful. If it's not respectful, you already know what the deal is. Well, if you don't know, you know I will block you. I don't play with that. And the stupidity, the ignorance, I don't do that. You say something stupid, you get blocked. You can disagree with me, just come with some logic. The whole stupid, oh, you're a hater, you're that, you get blocked. Because, come on. I need you to use your brain. If you really disagree with me, explain to me why you disagree with me. Because if you sitting here leaning towards, oh, you just a hater, you just don't like, block. Come on. You wasting your time, truthfully. But I'm not going to waste any more time because it is what time? 12 o'clock at night. And I'm trying to go to bed. But let's go. All right, so we get back to Rollie versus Diamond. They have their first round. First round, the post-ups. Let's talk about that. Rollie and that, I don't even know what she be doing. And then Diamonds, both these girls cannot fight. Like I said, but round one was a tie, essentially. Round two, Diamond was swinging, trying to really, and she was swinging for real. And for the most part, it seems like she was connecting on Rollie. But she started swinging, and Rollie got control of her and started swinging her around. And, of course, Natalie's over there cheering it on and whatnot. But Janisha, she ends up asking, like, what is the beef between them? Like, I don't understand. Like, nobody understood why they were fighting all of a sudden. And they keep asking them why they're fighting, and they're not getting a response. So Rollie ends up saying, apparently, you attacking Natalie, talking to Diamond. So she's fighting Diamond. It seems like in this moment she's fighting Diamond because Diamond had fought Natalie, which completely negates everything that she said earlier in the season. Well, not earlier in the season. Later in the season, the night Tommy got that thing for her, how she was saying that nobody's going to be fighting your battles or whatnot, and you need to get in the field, Natalie. We're not going to be fighting for you. But here you are fighting for Rollie, contradicting herself. But round three, the weak ass post ups cracked me up. Rollie got that round. The fans are chanting for Diamond. Santana and Janisha, they still asking, like, why are y'all fighting? But Bobby ends up saying because Diamond has snuck Natalie and Rollie's taking up for Natalie. Rollie then says that Diamond was talking on the internet, like you don't, but talking on the internet saying that or pretty much thinking that Rollie was not going to come to their reunion and touch her. But Diamond ends up saying that they're fighting because she a fat hating ass bitch. But Diamond ends up over there playing with the fans and whatnot. And Bobby ends up saying, like, they'll love you today and they'll hate you tomorrow. Talking about the fans. Of course, they're fickle. Like, them fans is fickle. They do that. And he was not lying. But Ahna ends up telling Diamond to sit down or whatnot because Diamond still wants to fight. But Rollie ends up standing up and they're telling her to sit down. And Diamond gets up and says she still wants another round. Diamond says, let's keep going and let's keep fighting until I win a round since she's saying I can't win. So Santana ends up asking her why she ain't fight Tesehki, being messy. And Diamond said, I ain't fighting that bitch. Diamond's the only one on the show that is smart. Well, I ain't going to say on the show because most of these girls don't want to fight Tesehki. But Diamond is the only one with sense to know not to fight somebody when you know you can't fight. But, well, I ain't going to say not fight. She knows not to fight somebody like Tesehki. Somebody that can fight. When you know you can't fight, you shouldn't be fighting them. But they're still asking why they're fighting. And Diamond ends up saying, like, Rollie was talking shit. Rollie says that Diamond was talking shit online about the Slim situation, saying that Rollie, like, she needed to have compassion for Slim but turned around and started a fight at the auditions, talking about Diamond. And I don't know because I didn't watch the auditions. But they show a screenshot of these tweets or whatnot, and Rollie ends up saying like she just needed a meal ticket, talking about Diamond just needed a meal ticket and needed to get to Africa. So Diamond gets up in the middle of the stage to want to fight again, and Rollie says, I'm not going to keep fighting with her because that's why everybody's calling me a bully. No, that's not why. Diamond actually wants to fight you. Slim didn't want to fight you. Not only that, look at you and look at Slim. Diamond is not your weight, but Diamond is thick, and Diamond is height-wise right there with you. So, and not only that, most importantly, she wants to fight you. So, that's the difference. That's why you were bullied. That's why you were that's why you were a bully. Because Slim wasn't trying to fight you. Slim is not even half your size. And then you know what you're doing. You were literally harassing that girl. That leads to bullying. But Diamond wants to fight her. And they're still asking again why they want to fight and whatnot. And Diamond ends up saying, you want to keep fighting a little bitch? Let's keep fighting. Like, let's keep fighting. You want to fight her? Let's fight now. But Rollie ends up stalling essentially. And Diamond says she going to fight. You going to fight this big bitch today. Talking about me. And they start doing it again. They start headlocking essentially. And Rollie ends up yanking Diamond's braid out of her scalp. That was crazy. But they start going back and forth. Janisha's asking Diamond why she ran up on Natalie. And Diamond says Natalie goes online talking shit. As we all know, that is true. Natalie ends up saying, but I DM'd you like about the whole best friend fighting the baddies or whatnot. And Ahna ends up co-signing what Diamond said, because Diamond said you only did it after I literally called you out about it and was on live talking about it. And Ahna co-signs it. They then show the receipt of Natalie doing exactly what they said. And Natalie sitting there smiling because she got caught, because it's right there. You can't say you didn't do it when it's right there. But Natalie, she's not taking accountability, of course. But Natalie ends up saying that she asked Diamond why she's letting her friends jump on the baddies. And Natalie and Diamond, they going back and forth at this point. They standing up, and Natalie ends up swinging, trying to slap Diamond, but she missed. Security breaks it up before it even becomes something. I ain't gonna call it a fight. But Janisha ends up asking where Natalie is right now with Diamond. And of course, Natalie and Diamond start going back and forth again. Didn't even answer the question, because Natalie started trying to answer it, but they literally are the same person. Like, let's keep it for real. But Diamond ends up asking Natalie if she wants to fight. And Natalie's pretty much saying, like, I don't have to fight. Like, me and you, I ain't got to do this. But they start going back and forth to the point where Natalie's like, essentially, like, it can be what it is. And Natalie is doing what I'm doing right now, talking with her hands and whatnot. And she's doing this, like, in front of Diamond. And Diamond's flinching. That shit was, I was cracking up. But when she started flinching, Natalie, you can see Natalie saw her flinching and saw what she was doing. And Natalie started trying to get her to flinch again. That shit was funny. But they start going back and forth. Next, Diamond ends up getting on the mic and says that she wants to fight. And Santana and Bobby being messy, talking about something, you want to fight Tesehki? Diamond says, I'm not on Tesehki's level. I'm not fighting her. I will never fight that bitch again. And nobody on this show, on the stage, nobody on Baddies should ever fight Tesehki. Listen to her. But Bobby ends up asking Natalie if she's casting Diamond for another season. And Natalie ends up saying, like, Diamond is amazing. She starts explaining her issue that she has with Diamond over the online shit. They start going back and forth again. Same old, same old. But Rollie, she ends up saying that Diamond's real best friend, like, that's Diamond's real best friend that Natalie had an issue with the whole situation. So that's Diamond's real best friend. So you can expect her to put the baddies over her actual real life best friend. And I'm like, I agree with Rollie on that. Like, I do agree with her on that. But Natalie ends up saying, like, I'm just saying that she could have stopped it, because apparently it was between Diamond's best friend and Ahna. But Ahna ends up saying essentially, like, the fight, it was just a drunken fight. It shouldn't have happened. It was a misunderstanding. But Rollie ends up saying how she don't need security or whatnot, and she walks around strapped or whatnot. I'm like, okay. But Diamond ends up saying that she wants to know what the temperature is between her and Biggie, because they had fought at the auditions, and she fucks with Biggie, but Biggie just don't return her calls. Essentially, Biggie is ghosting her, don't want to do with her. Biggie starts talking, and Janisha ends up cutting him off to bring out more girls. But Diamond ends up showing off her bald spot, telling Rollie that you got to pay for my new procedure. Rollie looks shocked to see that it was a bald spot, but she ends up saying that she got Diamond or whatever. And Diamond gets in the middle, starts doing a cartwheel, and starts doing splits. Now we move to the Royal Rumble. That trio that a lot of y'all like. I'm not included, like, truthfully. But they come out, and Summer beelines for Scotty, which, I mean, I get it, because her and Scotty actually had an issue on the show. Dolly goes beelining for Scotty for what? I don't know. Tesehki's right there. Lex was over here and she starts beelining it for Scotty too. So that's 3-on-1. Ahna jumps up. Jela jumps up. Tesehki jumps up. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. So they trying to jump Scotty. Scotty's on the couch kicking, and then of course she comes falling back because they're coming at her. She comes falling to the ground. Summer's over there pretty much on top of her at this point. And here comes Lex. Because Dolly is stopped now because Tesehki is over there with Dolly. And they over there squaring it up. Lex comes pouncing like Summer, like Scotty literally is on her back. And Summer is coming forward. Why are you coming over to jump? Why? So, of course, Ahna sees it. Jayla sees it. They're swinging on Lex. Because Lex is literally down here trying to swing on Scotty. I don't see nothing wrong with what they did. But Lex is trying to swing on her, like I said. Tesehki ends up going to press Dolly, like I said, and Lex. She ends up trying to swing on Scotty, like I said. And then she ends up trying to swing on Ahna as well. Bobby ends up saying they're not about to jump Scotty. Y'all not about to do that. We then get to Tesehki and Dolly. Tesehki, if Tesehki ever sees this, you that girl. You are what I want to see when I say I want to see somebody fight. She does what I want to see. This first round, it was, I mean, they was doing what they was doing in the first round. The first part of the round. Dolly was swinging. Was she connecting? No. No. But when they got to moving to where they showed that part last week for the sneak peek, where Tesehki's backing up as Dolly's coming forward swinging like this, not like this, like this. Tesehki's backing it up. And Tesehki's hitting her with a left-right combo. Bop, bop. Connected. The hot back where she pulled her braid back. And boy, this thing right here, the technique. I watched it back so many times. The technique for this left hook that she connected on her, she was in her feet, planted. That left was cocked so right. And she threw that body into it and just bing and got back. And guess what happened? She knocked Dolly out on her feet. That is literally knocked out on her feet. So left her body. Slept on her feet. She's sleeping standing up. Dolly fell forward, dropped her. That is dropped. Y'all want to say somebody got dropped? Jayla getting body slammed. That's not dropped. You want to say you got dropped? That is getting dropped. Fist connected, dropped. Dropped. There's nothing else you can do after that to make me think you want to fight. Because come on. If you didn't drop Tesehki back, there's no coming back from that. But Tesehki and Dolly, they go another round. And Tesehki was swinging off the back foot, which ended up making her lose her balance because she's a left hand dominant, which I can tell. And she's throwing that right as her body's moving left. And when she's throwing that right and that right leg is forward, of course she's going to lose a little bit of balance. Dolly had the perfect opportunity if she actually wanted to use both hands, which she wasn't. She was too busy trying to grab Tesehki with that left and swinging with that right. And that's all she did was swing with that right hand in this second round. She had an opportunity to really get Tesehki because she was off balance, but she didn't. Y'all gonna swear, oh, she was in there with her. She missed. She threw like 6. She might have threw 5 or 6 punches and only connected 1. Tesehki's still connected on her. Like, come on. Y'all want Tesehki to lose so bad. It's not going to happen. Not on this show. But Ahna versus Summer. You can't really see much of anything happening because of security. Lex, she ends up leaping over Ahna and did absolutely nothing. Nothing. This, I was like, what? Because Ahna was actually in there connecting on her. That's crazy. Lex hops over that couch, and had every opportunity to literally dog Ahna and should have, but didn't. But Scotty then jumps over and gets her licks back in on Lex, obviously, because you was over here trying to jump me. Duh. So that happened. Jayla versus Summer. Jayla didn't get her like I wanted her to. I don't know what Jayla was doing, but Summer didn't get Jayla, so that's really nothing. But Lex come over there trying to, like, Lex was literally fiending for moments to get in these fights. Like, she came sprinting over there, just you could see she was putting on her might and trying to get Jayla. But Scotty got over there and got her licks in on Summer too, as she should. Like, come on. Like, and don't call it the double. It's the double standard with me. You can call me biased. I don't care. Call it now. I don't give a fuck. Because guess what? If they wanted to jump on her, Scotty has every right to jump in every last one of their fights. Because y'all tried to jump me. All three of y'all tried to jump me. So every time you're fighting, I'm going to jump you back. So whatever. But Jayla ends up losing her top. Boobs is all out and everything. Jayla versus Summer, a second round. Terrible angle. You could tell when Jayla looked like she was trying to connect. They pulled out to that wide out shot where you couldn't even see anything. But of course, security breaks that up. But Ahna ends up telling Tesehki that Biggie had let them jump her. And Tesehki's like, yeah, they keep putting these bitches on me while you out here fighting. But Lex tries to sneak Jayla. Them reflexes. Jayla turned around real quick and pushed her. And Lex was coming up and ended up slipping. And then Jayla, with the assist, pushed her forward. And she fell on her back. On her head, I should say. Stop trying to fiend for a moment. That wouldn't have happened. But she gets up smiling because I'm pretty sure she was embarrassed. But Bobby ends up saying that she fell on her ass. Santana is telling Lex to calm down so she can get her win. Tesehki, she ends up going off stage, backstage with Biggie. And Biggie's sitting there following around her like a lapdog. But Bobby's out there trying to calm down the audience and whatnot. Tesehki ends up saying, like, y'all got she out there just going off. Y'all got the biggest eater out here and y'all treating me like shit. Like, this is the best part of the show. Like, y'all got me out here. She's just mad because it's like, damn, y'all keep trying to, and that's the thing too, because security saved Dolly. Because when Tesehki knocked her out and she fell on that ground, Tesehki could have literally got on top of her and started mauling her, but security was on her, which is why Tesehki was mad. Because not only that, with that second round too, they was on her too. So, like, let them fight. Like, let them fight. But they was doing that to protect Dolly, obviously. But she's backstage, crashing out, punching TVs. That's that adrenaline too. But there's blood on the ground and whatnot. But Scotty and Summer, they go another round. Scotty ends up falling. Lex, here she come again, trying to jump in again. Santana's like, ain't no jumping. Like, he's telling Lex to stop jumping and shit. Like, he just told you, calm down so you can get your ones. If you really want it, you can get your one. And out of everybody on this stage, you can't beat Tesehki. You can beat Ivori, just depending on the day. But everybody else on the stage, there's no reason for you to be jumping. There's no reason for you to be jumping because you can beat everybody else on that stage. Like, there's no need for that. But Jayla and Summer, they go again, not much. Scotty versus Summer again. Scotty ends up falling and taking Summer down with her. Ahna's sprinting backstage. She ends up coming back on the stage, motioning for Summer to come on. And Ahna was getting Summer. Getting her, working her. Diamond ended up getting a lick in on Summer. Ahna ends up telling Lex that she beat her friend's ass, and she did. But Lex and Summer, they over there celebrating like they did something there. But Tesehki, she's trying to leave. Santana is telling Janisha how Anna's mad that Biggie was standing there not letting her... Like, Biggie was standing there not even jumping in. Like, Ahna was getting tag teamed. I can't think for real... I'm trying to remember. I can't remember for real if it was a real jump or not. But regardless, Biggie ain't doing nothing. She ain't doing nothing because she knew better. She was too scared. But Dolly, she ends up talking to the fans and whatnot, talking about, guess what? I got my teeth. Okay. But you still got dropped. Like, you still got dropped. That was embarrassing. That was probably the most embarrassing thing I've seen on this reunion so far. Like, getting dropped like that. That one was bad. But Ahna is telling her how Biggie has stood there, because she's back outside with Tesehki at the car. Y'all, it's 1 o'clock. It's almost 1 o'clock, so bear with me. I'm just reading the notes, trying to get it done. But she's outside with Tesehki, at Tesehki's car, crying about the fact that Biggie is a scary-ass bitch, and Biggie's out there too. And she's not lying. Anna's telling her how Biggie stood there while they was fighting, letting her get jumped. And they start going back and forth. And Ahna ends up saying, like, why does Jayla and Scotty have my back more than you and you're supposed to be my best friend? Good question. But they cussing each other out. Teseki's in the car. Anna's on this side. Biggie's on this side. They cussing each other out through the car. Teseki's in the middle just watching it. And Anna ends up saying that Biggie pop her shit. She pops more shit than she does doing anything, and that's the truth. Biggie ends up saying, I'm not a fighter. You're just mad, but you're just projecting your life onto me. You're not a fighter, but you try to pop all that shit like you really about it. And then when you have an opportunity to fight, you only want to fight people that you think you can beat. But when your friend is getting jumped or tag teamed, you don't want to. We about to get into it. She said something that blew my mind. But Anna ends up saying, my life is great. You're a miserable bitch. Biggie says, if you disrespect me, Anna said, what you gonna do about it? I said, exactly. But Biggie says, Summer. She said Summer. Summer came out here with flames in her eyes. You want me to fight this bitch? You are crazy. No, you're crazy. Summer coming out here with flames. You wouldn't have gotten anything with me with any of these cases, but if she would have said Lex came out here with flames in her eyes, maybe that would have made sense. Because Summer can't fight. Lex can fight to a degree. Summer cannot fight. So you talking about Summer came out here with flames? Please. But Biggie ends up saying that Anna didn't get jumped, and they start going back and forth again. But Santana is on the stage, and he ends up saying that Dolly has stuck in on the second round. Here we go with the keeping up. Like, why? Because she stood on her feet? Like, okay. But she's sitting there talking about, I just woke up. Dolly, she's feeling pumped up because she fought Tesehki, and she's still out there. She still got her teeth. Her face is not messed up. I will give her that. Her face is not messed up. She still got her teeth. But you still ate punches. You did not win. Neither round. I don't care what nobody says. She didn't. Like, and it does not take a rocket scientist to realize that. But Scotty comes back out, and Summer's talking about, here she come, I already dropped Scotty. And Summer ends up saying that Lex is on her ass now. And Summer ends up saying that I want your friend, Scotty. I want your friend. Talking about Jazmin. But Scotty ends up saying that she's never going to shut up. Talking about Summer. And I just don't give a fuck at this point. But Janisha ends up asking what happened. And she starts talking about Dolly and Tesehki. Dolly's over there saying ain't shit happened with us. Like, I'm still sitting here looking pretty, whatever. Again, like I said, you still got to drop. But she ends up saying that Tesehki should have been fighting Ivori, a bitch that's in her weight class. Not a little bitch like me. You was the one online calling her out, Dolly. You was online calling her out, calling Ivori out, calling Tinkerbella out. Because all of the fans online, me watching the show, all of the reviewers as well, you kept fighting Paula. When you had every opportunity to fight, get your lick back with Tesehki, and had your opportunity to get your lick back with Tinkerbella, mainly because she threw a drink on you in your face while you were fighting Tesehki, which blurred your vision when you were fighting Tesehki. You had every opportunity and every right to want to fight them back, but you jumping in the fights, fighting Paula for no reason, busting your hand and tearing your hand up, but you didn't want to fight them on the show. So everybody online was saying, like, okay, so what's the deal? Like, are you scared of her? So you got online calling them out, saying you're going to get to this reunion and you're going to fight everybody. You're going to take down the eater. So why are you sitting here saying this stuff? The excuses. But she ends up saying that Santana is like, Tesehki's different. Like, I saw that hit that really changed it for you. But Santana and Bobby, they sitting there saying in the second round, Dolly got some hits in. Like I said, 1 for 6. But Summer ends up saying that she's talking about how she done dropped Scotty a couple times. And Scotty says, you ain't dropped shit. Which, truthfully, she didn't. Like, Scotty just literally fell. Because Scotty is clumsy. Like, Scotty, with all that kicking and stuff, she gonna eventually fall off balance. And that's what happened. But Summer ends up saying you was on the floor, mop. But Bobby ends up asking Summer, like, what was up with them crusty, dirty-ass braids? It's a good question. And they all laughing on the stage. Jayla comes out there, and Bobby ends up telling Summer that her braids look fresh now. And Summer said because they gave the wrong bitch money. Me and my sister was sitting there looking, and we said the same thing. You needed money to wash your head? But she starts twerking. Lex is now wanting to fight Jayla because she talks too much. And then she says that she wants to fight Scotty because she got too much energy with Summer, and I'm coming behind Summer. Scotty said, you want to fight me because of what? Pretty much saying, like, say it again so you can sound stupid. Like, you want to fight me because I have too much energy for somebody who has issues with me. just say you want to fight them, because like I would respect Lex more if she just said, I want to fight y'all because I want a moment. That's what it is. That's what it is. I would respect her for saying that, because that's what Diamond does. Diamond admits, I don't have beef with these girls. I just am doing this because that's what y'all want to see. If Lex literally got out there and said, Jayla, I just want to fight you because I want a moment. Scotty, I want to fight you because I want a moment. I would respect it. I would respect her. I can't with these stupid ass excuses. They just don't make no sense. But she ends up saying, come on. Like, she needs that from Scotty because of Hawaii. And Scotty's like, you're mad because I beat your friend's ass? And she's like, no, you didn't. She did. Scotty definitely tore her up at that dinner in Hawaii. And that's literally the reason why you wanted to fight her. But Lex gets up and says, come on, like you or you, talking about her or Scotty or Jayla. Scotty gets up. Did she want to get up? Probably not. Like, I'm pretty sure she knows if she fights Lex, she's probably going to lose. But she got up and was like, I don't care. Let's go. And she says, I'm here. Come on. And Lex sitting there talking about something. Come on. No, you come on. You come to her. You the one that wants to fight her. Why should she have to come to you? You want to fight her. You go to her. You go to her. But guess what? She went back to that couch. Janisha ends up saying, oh, well, they don't want to smoke with Lex because she's forcing it. Like, they don't really have an issue with her. And granted, people going to say, oh, it's because they scared of her. No, they don't care. She's not that relevant to them. Like, y'all can say that that's what y'all want it to be, but like, ain't nobody really think about her. Like, she literally, all the fights that she's had on this stage, she's literally jumped into other people's. Dolly and Summer have had their own issues with other girls on this stage. Their own issues. Lex has forced these issues, which is why it's just like, please. But she got back on that couch. She's now tweaking out, calling Scotty a scary ass bitch. I'm like, but she was standing there waiting on you to swing. But they bring Jaden out. Jaden looks good. She comes out there walking really funny to me. But they start talking about whatever she got going on. I did not write it down. But Janisha then moves to Diamond, who is sitting over there looking like she ready to go to sleep. And she's like, I got a booking at 9 o'clock in the morning. I got a flight I got to go catch. I got to go get this money. She tells Rollie, I'll see you in Africa. And Janisha's like, oh, Natalie, so you casting her? You bringing her to Africa? And Natalie's like, well, the thing is, Natalie ain't got no choice. Like, that's the CEO's choice. But Natalie, Diamond, and Rollie, they essentially hug at one point, and Diamond makes her exit. We finish with my favorite newbie trio. Ivori, Pretty P, and Jazmin, they come out. Ivori is immediately ready for the business. She goes straight to the middle. Lex gets up. They in the middle. Lex gets to swinging all wild and stuff. And Ivori was smart. She took, like I said, with Lex, you got to get inside. Because Lex, the only way Lex really can mac your shit is if she has enough extension with her punches. She got that long reach. You can never stay too far back. Because if you stay too far back, she's going to connect. Ivori got inside and took her down. And when she took her down, security's trying to get on top of her. But she's on top of Lex and she's stomping Lex out. Stomping her out. So Ivori got that one for me. But Jazmin, she wants it with Summer. And Paula, she ends up going to get Summer. Knocking Summer into that TV. It made a loud ass thud. Jazmin got them fresh ass braids. Because she ain't even got her wig on. Because she know what time it is. But she goes to go get Summer. But Paula and Summer, they go another round. Not much really happening. But Dolly ends up telling Ivori, because it looked like Ivori was over there pressing Dolly, because like I said, Dolly was calling out Ivori as well online. And she's sitting there talking about something. I fucked my hand up on Tesehki. I said, is this excuses? I fucked my hand up on Tesehki, and I'm not about to play with y'all hoes. Like, you can catch me in Africa. Catch me in Africa. I said, oh, so that's the cop in the plea for real. Catch me in Africa? No, you here right now. And then she later fights Paula next week. But I thought your hand was hurting. Okay. Okay. But Lex versus Ivori, they go another round. I don't care what nobody say. Ivori missed that first one, but that second one that she connected, bop. Third one stopped Lex. Hit her right there in the side. I think that's where that knot was. She got her. But Lex did come back and get her again. I did see that. That was a good little back and forth. But all in all, when they got the headlocking it up, Lex was swinging, but Ivori was coming down on top, connecting on Lex, connecting on her. That's why Summer came out the blue trying to jump. because Ivori was getting her. So when she does that, Jaden comes running, Paula comes running, everybody come running. So Jaden is like, none of that jumping, stop doing all that jumping. Jaden ready to fight. I said, okay. Jaden said, I ain't doing enough during the season. Let's do it here. And she right. Like in this moment, that's where she should jump in. But Ivori gets over there to Summer and started them big ones. And she took them back with it too. Summer was getting torn up. But Ivori then goes and sneaks Dolly. Ivori kind of she kind of lost balance a little bit. Dolly started swinging on her a little bit. But Ivori ends up getting control and ends up sitting Dolly on that damn stage and start banging on that head. And that's what we got next week. We see that next week. Jela doing that. It looked like Lex was popping her. Jela might have got 1 or 2 in. Jela probably going to lose that round. But then we got Biggie versus Ahna again next week. And then we got Paula versus Dolly. And yeah, we almost done. Thank God. We almost done. But yeah, I think that's it. And I hope I was recording. But I will see y'all tomorrow. Thumbs up the video. Subscribe if you're new. Drop a comment down below. And I'll see y'all then. Peace.